Every artist you get compared to someone else before you, but it was never like I saw an artist and I was like, oh, I want to paint like that, or I want to draw like that. It was more of like I saw like something true in it. Like I saw some sort of self-expression that I thought, there's something more to this. There's something I need.
James Coleman is working towards becoming a full-time artist in the district.
I would always draw, and in high school, like I took some art classes, and I was very serious about it. I didn't really consider myself an artist at that point. That wasn't my driving force as to what I was going to do with my life. I was in a band, and I think that was probably what I thought I was going to do, that and work at the skate shop. That was like my motivation.
It wasn't until college that he really found the driving force and support in a professor to encourage his work.
He kind of drew me in, like took me in when I was in a community college. I guess he saw something, and because I was living with roommates, and I was working and going to college. And I was in a band, so I was very scattered. But he gave me a space like to work at down in the basement of the school, and he had talk to the security guards and stuff, so I could come in whenever and work. And he was exposing me to other artists, and and I'd write it down, and I think that was the difference between me and the other students, because he would show these examples and he would talk about other artists, and with them it just went in one ear and out the other. But for me, I really took it to heart, and I started seeing something in this art and Basquiat and some of these guys that really resonated with me.
James uses his art as an emotive release, pulling imagery and subject matter from his own life experiences.
I do sketch, and I labor over drawings and things, but I very rarely have a ruler and things like that, or an eraser. I don't erase. If I erase, it's because I want it to smudge. I just work over it until it gets where I want it. I normally have some sort of idea that's not really focused, some sort of motif that I'm dealing with, or some sort of theme, and then I'll just I just sketch, and I just try to express this idea, some sort of abstract idea, into form without having literal interpretations.
Being interested in the human form, James also teaches jiu-jitsu classes. By doing this, he gets a release from his daily life and finds inspiration for his figure-driven art.
I can't just do one thing. I've always done sports or martial arts or something, and if I'm just doing one thing, if I just focus on one thing too much, then it's I just don't feel right. And especially with art, if you start interviewing artists and stuff, artists are weird people, and you get so involved with what's going on in your own head, so you really end up being less of a social person, or less of a less interactive as a person. So the jiu-jitsu really keeps me rounded. It gives me a release. It gives me a good workout. Clears your head. It's kind of like Fight Club. When you're fighting, the sound gets turned off on everything else. So it really gives me a chance just to relax, and come with a clear perspective, as opposed to being always in my own head.
As James continues to grow with his work, he shied away from using too many colors, feeling it's the image that leaves the lasting impression.
It's amazing what color does, to your psyche and your interpretation of something. We're attracted to certain colors and we're not attracted to others. But with a muted palette, with a black and gray, or a pretty monochromatic palette, I feel like the imagery is the driving force.